defence. Wilton makes a run ahead of it. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Dear, oh dear. Right. That's one of the absolute worst North London derbies I've ever seen in my life. We ran out of ideas before half-time. Shocking. Holding knew what Son's game was. He fell for it. Arteta could see he was falling for it. He did nothing about it, and he fell for it over and over and got sent off. Only Martinelli and Odegaard were the only ones on the pitch actually doing anything attacking-wise. Saka looks like he's got an injury. Eddie, almost no chances. Cedric's a liability. Elneny and Xhaka look lost. Then it fell apart. We could have lost by 5 or 6. But worst of all for me, people, worst of all, Arteta had no answers. You know it's all over when your manager like that sits down after 66 minutes. Welcome to the show. Stan, I'm not going to ask you how you are. How angry are you on a scale of 1 to 11?
15.
Go on.
I mean, we're our own worst enemies. When I realised that we'd finally got 6th place, I thought everything else thereafter for me is a bonus. But the way that we went about that tonight, we're our own worst enemies. Two of the people that I look at in the lineup that I think, they're the ones, couple that I'm a little bit iffy about. They're the ones that cost us. Rob Holding has done so much good work recently in games. I was even considering, we could keep this guy around as a backup. You know, he comes in and he works hard, and he just done it all. He's just
playing
gone.
It was his first season playing football.
I mean, how many times does he need to get a warning for the same thing and continue doing it? It was almost like he was possessed by Squadron Mustafi at times. Instead of tackling, he was just grabbing Mr. Grabby hands every single time. So I'm really annoyed because we didn't even get an opportunity to play football because we let ourselves down by going a man down. And I'm not going to blame the referee for any of those two decisions because I would say it is a soft penalty, but had that been the other way round, I wouldn't be going, no, it's a soft penalty. Don't give it. It was a penalty.
I mean, everyone should know that's what Son does. Son will go looking for that stuff all day. Son jumped in the air and then realised Cedric's arm was there and went, I'll have some of that. Easy penalty. And then they're all protesting. Of course it fucking is. You know it was going to be. You know that's what he does. Have none of you seen Son play the game before? He's a sly shitbag of a player. But that's why he's so good. That's why he scored so many goals this season. And we all knew it was going to happen. We all knew that Kane would get a penalty. They'd score with a penalty. That's what happens in North London derbies. That's why he's got so many goals. Most of them are penalties. And for Arteta just to be standing there, why are we still playing 4 at the back when we're 3-0 down? Why is Cedric still on the pitch? Take Cedric off. Put on Smith Rowe. Play 2 at the back. I don't fucking care. But don't just... With 10, 15 minutes to go, they're passing the ball. It's going to Ramsdale. It's going to Tomiyasu. Going to Ramsdale. Going to Elneny. Going to Rams. Why the fuck are you doing that? Give it to Ramsdale. Launch it down the pitch. You've got players that are as quick as lightning, getting them on the counter-attack like we were the first 10 or 15 minutes, Dan. We looked really good at the start of the game.
Very good,
Then something happened, and then they went, we can't do this all game. Martinelli, have you ever seen a player run so much and get so little out of it? No one else is on his level. Eddie was absolutely lost. Not all Eddie's fault because he was getting absolutely no service. But you think if you're going to be playing 2 holding midfields like that, with Elneny and Xhaka, the pair of them are going to stop people getting through. They didn't do any of that lot.
You know, as soon as Davis got his yellow card as well, I thought to myself, well, just keep getting the ball to Saka, because he'll get something out of that foot race. He'll get something out of that. I just don't.
I think we can see now why Saka was an uncertainty for today's game.
You know what, right? A lot of these players will get, if we get to the Champions League, they're on a bonus of £500,000. Right? If I was one of those players and we miss out, I wouldn't be able to look at Rob Holding without seeing big bags of money. You know what I mean? I would be feeling, you've lost me my money there, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's another Lamborghini that I could have had. Cheers. I mean, you can't say that they haven't got an individual incentive to win the game. There's a lot at stake. You know, there's a lot at stake for the club, i.e. the Champions League, let alone it being a North London derby. And then there's a personal incentive of big bags of money. And that's how Rob Holding wants to play the game. It's as Melvin said in the chat box, it's really selfish. You know, and I'd like him to be gone now, because if I was the manager, I'd be thinking, like, what are you doing? I can't trust you in our biggest game. And you're one of the most experienced players out there.
That's what's so infuriating. He just looked like he had no idea of anything about the dark arts. And then to go and do that elbow thing, you know, again, Son is going to be looking for it. It looked like Son even bent down a little bit to make sure that he got it. And you knew he was going to do this thing. If you were given a team talk before this game, you would say, watch out for Son. He's a slimy little cunt and he's going to try and get in there and he's going to try and get fouls and he's going to get you on the break. Well, we managed to stop him getting on the break for a lot of the game. But two typical Son things, a player sent off and they get a penalty. And the game was over at that point because Arteta had no idea what to do, did he? He was absolutely fucking clueless.
I mean, at least do something to try and get back into the game. You know, I mean, Nicolas Pepe may not be at the top of his list, but you look at the bench and look what you've got. You've got to start rolling some dice. You've got to do something. You've got Lacazette sat there as well. Not the best striker in the world, but again, if they're the only dice that you've got, you roll them in a situation like that, I think.
But leaving it so long about bringing Smith Rowe on, you could see Saka had there was an injury or something. Something wasn't right with him. You could see that at half time. So maybe take Saka off and bring Smith Rowe on and swap it around a little bit. But I mean, we did beat them 3-1 at our place. I mean, they only beat us 3-0 at their place. And looking at that result tonight, those Spurs fans are going to be a little bit disappointed that they didn't get 5 or 6 against us. Because they should have done, because we were that bad in defence, that bad in tracking people back and letting people get past. And there's one point in the second half where we had a left back would have been Xhaka, and then I think it was Tomiyasu, and then it was Gabriel. Son ran across the edge of the penalty area behind all three of them and then managed to get in and get the ball. It's like they didn't even know he was there. It's like they had never seen a video on what Son does. How can you be that fucking stupid? It's like they were completely unprepared for tonight's game. So fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I'm very, very rarely do I get angry. Only usually when it's a North London derby and these fuckers have done us over. But they were a better team by a country mile.
Had we lost that game and everybody trudged off the pitch and you see that they've left everything on there, there's not a lot you can say to that if you've been outmatched on the day. But we never even gave ourselves an opportunity to play that game. You know what I mean? As soon as that we went down to 10 men, that was it. It was curtains. That was it. And if from about 60 minutes onwards, it felt like I'd been watching the match for like 2 days. Exactly. It was just like the longest half hour was the longest half hour of football I've ever watched.
When 66 minutes come up and they showed Arteta sitting down, I thought, well, this is when we need in football. I give in. Just call the game off. Just don't.
And he's not one for sitting down, is he? He hardly ever sits down.
That's what I mean. If he sits down,
to be up.
I mean, the camera loved looking at him, just staring at him because he's walking up and down, hands behind his back, going, "I don't know what to do." He's a young manager. He hasn't got anybody on the bench in the pit crew with any kind of experience on what to do. Some wily old assistant manager who's been there and done it. The whole pit crew was sitting there looking lost. They kept looking at Ben White. He was sitting there looking lost. I mean, admittedly, we haven't got many players to bring off the bench. It probably would have been a mistake to bring on Ben White in that situation because all we have to do is go and win the last 2 games of the season, 2 winnable games, and we're in the Champions League. Yeah. But it's just the way they capitulated and they gave up so soon. Yeah. I'm just so fucking angry at that. There's no need for it. That would have been your team talk. Watch out for Son. Don't give away a penalty and don't let him fucking roll around all over the place. In fact, my first 2 notes are 9th minute, Son crying. 10th minute, Son crying. And then a great attack from Martinelli down. And their back 5 offside trap had absolutely nowhere to go. Most of my notes are Martinelli, Ødegaard, Martinelli, Ødegaard. And then it gets down to the 20th minute and I go, oh, fuck me, game's over. Because you could see we weren't going to get anything from that. And then when you get a red card, you think, that's it. There's after 32 minutes. Absolute fucking idiot.
I think a lot of those youngsters as well, I think they let the occasion get to them. But on the other side of that, there was no maturity on the pitch to hold them down. You know, Xhaka basically was missing in a lot of that game.
Another massively experienced player, like Richard says, Son's elbow not seen. They were quick enough to show 3 or 4 different angles of Bob Holding's elbow on him, which could have been. I mean, he was jumping up in the air, and it was a rogue elbow. It's not like it was deliberate that he was trying to injure the player, but he was rogue with his elbows. But that little diving cunt, he was full of the elbows, and they did a handball. And near the end of the game, they did a handball when it was Mora. And then Kane's shouting at the referee that it was a penalty. Fucking idiot. No, it wasn't a fucking penalty. Shut up. Fucking prick. Oh, it's down. But were there any elements in the game that is worth looking at and going, well, that was pretty good? Because I've got a shitload of notes. Very few of them are any good. A few decent saves from
Ramsdale.
Yeah, Ramsdale. Yeah. Is that worth talking about?
Martinelli was also very lively in the game, but as you say, didn't have an outlet for any of it. And he can't do it all, can he? He can't pass to himself. So it's just a very disappointing way to handle a North London derby, you know? And you know what? I'm really glad that we didn't get Antonio Conte as our manager. I don't like him. Looks like he'd been spiked with like 3 Mitsubushi's the way he was like gurning on that bench. No, thank you.
He wasn't Mitsubishi, so that's one for the dads out there.
Going back a little bit there.
I didn't know what you meant at first, and I thought you were talking cars. Yeah, he didn't look too good. I mean, he didn't even celebrate their first goal when the penalty went in. He didn't celebrate. What kind of manager doesn't? He just turned his back and walked away. You think, you miserable fuck. But where do we go from here? We've got Gabriel is now injured. Gabriel went down holding a hamstring. He walked off. He didn't limp off. He walked off. So I always think hamstring, that's it. You need to be stretched it off. But apparently when it goes like that, there's varying levels of it. You hear it pop, and then you can only determine after a couple of days. They bandage his thigh up, and then after a couple of days they'll be able to tell how bad it is. But do you think that's his season done?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't watching a lot of the end of it by to be honest with you. I was finding the odd jobs around the house to do while it was on in the background. You know, I must have entered the cat litter tray about 3 or 4 times. Cats never had a litter box, a cleaner, you know, put some laundry on and that. So I missed that. But you asked, where do we go from here? Well, this is now where the manager and the coaching staff really earn their money, right? Because they've got to keep this team together. They've somehow got to try and harness some of the good football that we've seen and see out the last 2 games. It's a very precarious situation, right? It's almost like a house of cards, but we've got to see it through now. Could have ended it today. Could have been all nicely tied up.
Even I'd have been quite happy if that game would have ended a draw. I don't like I'd have taken a draw before the game started, because that's never happened in the history of professional football that I know of. No one ever has said, should we settle on a draw? No, I don't talk about that. But at points in that game, even when we were looking really good for the first 15, 20 minutes, I thought, I'd be quite happy with a draw here. Hold them there, because they hadn't come out to win that game. They were playing 5 at the back in a home game.
Yeah.
They were scared shitless of us. And then the late fitness test for Saka and the late fitness test for Ben White. And you can see why Saka didn't play. I don't think Saka made hardly any moves like that. And when we really needed him, he moved into the left side. I mean, from the right side into midfield. And at other times, he was when Holding got sent off, him and Xhaka went and covered over on the left-hand side a little bit. And I'm thinking, I could not see anything. There was no way I could see. If anybody in the chat had anything that you would have done, but at 1-0 and 2-0 down, I couldn't see a single avenue of us. No one to bring on, nothing to do other than Smith Rowe. And even when Smith Rowe came on, he didn't look overly interested. But they kept going on about that fucking crowd. And Gary Neville, it's the best atmosphere I've heard at a stadium this season. Did he used to play for Spurs or something? Absolute fucking shitbag, best atmosphere. But could that have been an intimidating factor in it? The fact that crowd they were on their toes, they were standing up, which I think they had the standing area. But it's just annoying how much they kept fucking going on about them arseholes.
I do think that some of our players, they let the occasion get to them. I do think that, and we didn't have anyone on there to sort of like keep people on a steady level. It's just, Gary Neville is a tosser. I agree with Richard Morris.
It says, Ravinda says, all right, let's be fair, credit where it's due. They really are the best fifth place team in the land. Come on, Burnley and Norwich.
So really are we going to be short now for centre backs at the next game? Well, holding suspended.
That's if they don't change it to. Are they allowed to change it after the game to a red? Because if that was an intended elbow, they could maybe that should have been a red. But I suppose I think the referee saw it, gave a yellow, so they can't change it. So he's going to miss the next game, which is Newcastle. And Gabriel's going to be out, and Ben White's going to be hobbling. I don't think we've got any other centre backs, have we? Xhaka can play centre back.
Nenny, maybe.
Wow. Well, that's
where we are, right? Or you move Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu can play at centre back.
It's going to have to be Tomiyasu right centre back. Xhaka at left centre back. Maybe if Tommy was on the bench, if Ben White was on the bench, that means he's probably going to be all right for the next game. It isn't. We've got until Monday, so he's got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's a nighttime game on Monday. So he's basically got 4 days to get fit. So I reckon
that'll be a gamble at this stage in the season that I think you've got to take, isn't you?
With only 2 games left to go, fuck it, play him. If Everton last game of the season, they're shit. They're shit. We should beat them. So against Newcastle, it's going to have to be Ben White and Tomiyasu as centre backs. I think that'll be all right. And Tavares will play right back and left back. Well, maybe Nuno,
Cedric. No, Tavares would be left back. Cedric will be right back. Right. That's all they got left.
No, I think Cedric right back and Tavares will be left back.
Yeah,
he's still going to. But it amazes me. So just doing the game, still playing the 4 at the back all the way through the game. Why is he playing 4 at the back? What's he hoping that's going to come of that? They're going to go, oh, they're playing 4 at the back. Then we're not going to get past them. Even with 4 at the back, they could have scored another 3 or 4 goals. Fucking so. Makes you wonder what goes through Arteta's mind. It doesn't matter about goal difference.
Because I've not seen the post-match interview, and isn't there someone that usually comes in here? Is it formerly Noza that usually?
Rudy.
Oh, Rudy Raslos. That's right.
Rudy is there. I don't know who Rudy is. He's gone missing. Maybe it's too much for him to deal with. Just looking through what some of the people are saying.
But in the bigger picture, trying to lift it a little bit. In the bigger picture, we're still in the driving seat, right? We're still We're still in 4th. We've still got a point ahead of the scum. We've got 2 games coming up, and I'm not going to say that they're easy games. We've got 2 games coming up. We've somehow just got the manager has got to get the team back together. There's no time to be dropping heads and licking wounds. There's work to be done still.
Clayton can't deal with it. He's going to have to watch this tomorrow. I can't say I blame you, Clayton. Zamir says, hello. Hello, Zamir. You've missed all the fun. Kate is there. Can't wait to see what he says. Lionel says,
I just can't help looking as well. There's a couple of fixtures that I look back on and just say, we could be 6 points better off, at least. Do you know what I mean? You look at Everton, for example, Brentford, first game of the season, they should have got something out of that, I feel. Brighton, Southampton, their points are gone begging.
This thing. Do you know Lone Star Londoner?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him for a while.
Can say about your hairstyle. Tommy at centre back.
Self-inflicted. I cut it myself.
Yeah, did mine. What else have we got in here? Kate says she had to mute it by the end. She was getting so angry. This is one of the first times in seasons I've actually wanted to turn the game off. 66 minutes. Well. I wanted to turn it off. And I bet there's loads of people that did turn it off and went, fuck this. I can't watch this. I can't see our team. Just keeps going through my mind the playing it out from the back. Fuck, get the thing. Launch the ball. What's happened to Ramsdale when his long-reaching attack? He did one, didn't he? An accidental one near the end of the second half. And Eddie got the ball running down the left-hand side, got past one of their players. He looked round and went, oh, there's nobody there. Then he had to hold it up a little bit, put it through, and Erdegaard ended up getting a shot right at the keeper. I think we had, go and have a look at the number of shots that we had. We had plenty of chances. It says here we had 8 shots and 4 on target. They had 16, but only 6 on target.
Jesus.
And pass success rate, 89% for them, 85% for us. Possession, 57% for them, 43% for us. But average team ratings, so for the entire the players that played, 7.07 for them, 5.94 for us. Xhaka, 5.6. To Suarez, 5.3. Saka, 6.2. Elneny, Ødegaard, 6.3. Ramsdale, 6. I mean, they gave Xhaka, they put him down as our second worst player. Fucking, I mean, the bloke comes on, he's playing holding midfield, then he's playing over on the left, and then he's playing centre back. He's playing all over the bloody place. No one he can concentrate on what he's doing. And there, I'm not even going to say who got man of the match for them. I don't really give a fuck. Fuck them. But yeah, I suppose. Oh dear, look at that. Alex, who was on the preview show with me. Not now, Alex.
Well,
not now.
Well. Taste of London.
He wasn't even confident that we were going to win, like I wasn't confident we were going to win. But we have to. We can't dwell on this, can we? We can't.
It's work to be done, isn't there? It's just annoying as an individual game, and it's a North London derby. That's why the scar is so much deeper.
And Steph wants to know if he can come and have a word. Of course you can, Steph. Send you the link. Then you can come on. Steph will have wise, calming words if he comes and joins us. I'll send you the link, Steph, via Twitter DM.
Words. Could do with some soothing words.
We do need some soothing words. The Keysby night. I missed the third goal and was so scared of seeing more. My stream cut out at 84 minutes. I didn't rush in reloading the page.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
sums
wise.
all up. Neil has a quote here. It says, Sky, what do you think, Arteta? If I say what I think, I'll be suspended for 6 months. Fucking hell.
Has he not watched them back then? Because I don't have. Yeah. Do you have a problem with with the refs' decisions that cost us?
I think he gave Holding more than enough chances. Holding could have been booked 3 times in the first half alone, and that elbow could have gone down as a red. So no real problem with the referee. Quite a few times there was stuff that went our way, went their way. I thought it was quite fair, but I don't really tend to watch. If I think about it, the person I watched most in this game was Saka, watching see if he was going to make a run, and he did almost nothing. I expected Saka on the right to match what Martinelli was doing on the left. That's what you expect to see when you're watching Arsenal play, with Ødegaard feeding both of them and then getting stuff through to Eddie and then Eddie making a run. And then all it was down one side. And they know they could see early on it was only coming down Martinelli's side. All they had to do was stop Martinelli, keep playing 5 at the back, double up at right back to try and stop him. And it did the job. Saka had absolutely no threat down the right or even in the middle when he went through there. I'm not having a go at Saka. I'm just saying Saka wasn't fit. Saka has done more so far in his career than many hundreds or loads of Arsenal players. Steph's there. Far in his career than many hundreds or loads of Arsenal players. You need to mute your YouTube, Steph. Yeah. What wise words have you got for us, Steph?
Well, I just think we all need to calm down a bit.
Go on.
We've put in plenty of shockers this season, lads. There's been some terrible performances. We've had, Stan was saying we've been awful in some games this year. We have been terrible in some games. But, losing to that scum up the road, I live in North London. I see those scum all day. I had to walk past some scum today and hold my tongue and not say anything to them, but I managed to. And we need to remember that we are the Arsenal. We have put in plenty of shockers, plenty of shit performances this year, and we always come back because we are the Arsenal. And we're gonna go to Newcastle and we're gonna play against Everton and we're gonna kick their asses, and we're gonna do it because we are the Arsenal. And I wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that.
So you're confident for the last 2 games of the season then, Steph? What are we going to do about the defence?
Well, what can we do? There is Tommy and there is White, I guess. And there could be White and there could be Tommy. What way around are you going to play them? We don't really know how it's going to go. I mean, I need to move my camera. I'm like 6'5", and you'd probably think I'm really small. But yeah, let's sort this out. Let's sort this out.
Are you trying to get you one above your PC working?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a bit wrong at the moment.
Let's give it a whack.
Sort this out.
Do you want me to talk to Stan while you sort it out?
I don't know. I just think I needed to talk to someone. And, you know, why the hell I've come on here and talking to all you guys, I'm not really sure. But, you know, I thought, why not?
You've rang me up plenty of times in the past and just had a chat about football. So I know you know what you're talking about. So let you come on and try and calm us down a little bit. Stan, is he right?
He is right. Yeah, he is right. We've still got some work to do. It's not dead in the water yet. I'm just annoyed that it was at the North London derby. You know, we had our own destiny in our hands and we could have had it all wrapped up. It's just annoying, right? So we have to keep focused on the job ahead. Got to forget it now.
Possibly. I wonder if my mate Anna is still... Anna, are you still watching? I'm not happy. You need to bring me some cake. What are the people in the chat?
So what minute did you guys switch off? I got to the 47th minute.
You turned the game off after 47 minutes?
Well, yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Like, you know, what's his name? Son. You know, when he scored, I was like, well, I'm not out against India in cricket 22 at 22 not out. And I stopped my innings to watch this game. You know, and, you know, thankfully, guys, I got to 100. I got to 100. Probably about the 85th minute of the game. Unfortunately, I got caught behind, and I had to get out and went back to the dressing room. But you know, that's how it goes sometimes. You know, like that is just how it goes, and you've got to deal with it. You know, life is like that.
So you didn't see the last however long of the game, the last third of the game?
Well, I didn't see the last half of the game.
So maybe that's why you're so calm. You didn't see the capitulation of every single thing that we did.
Were they like allaying and stuff?
Pointless, eh?
Were they allaying like passes?
Oh, of course they fucking were.
Yeah, well, that's just Spurs fans. That's what Spurs fans do, you know. This is the best it's going to be for a Spurs fan. Just remember that, guys. You know, we're Arsenal fans. We know what success looks like. We know what it's like to win trophies. You know, Spurs fans, they're going to make a DVD of this, and like every Spurs fan is going to buy that DVD, and they're going to have the tissues out. That's all I'm saying. You know. So
soon after their Pitch of the Year award DVD, that's coming out soon.
Exactly,
2 DVDs in the same month. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Phil said he left the pub at 83 minutes. Pete Geary turned it off after 85 minutes. People put in the chat, at what point did you turn it off? Where was it? Someone said they stayed right to the bitter end. Who was it? Oh, it's David. David says, didn't turn it off. I watched the bitter end. Me and Stan watched the very end. Super says, I'm switching to the bourbon. Jamil says, Arsenal never make it easy on ours. Pain and stress everywhere. Kate is just laughing. Loki says, I always watch to the last second. I hate myself. I turned it the moment that they started showing those muggy cunts celebrating. I turned it off. It was times like this that I wished Sky would have blocked my IPTVs and I would have had to watch any of that bollocks towards the end. Richard, who goes to most of the games, says, Spurs fans, I'll see you next Tuesdays. Oh, Steph's cut himself off. Oh, Amanda is there from the Same Old Arsenal podcast. I haven't turned it off yet. Amanda. You were even going to do a show if we won, and you didn't, and we lost. So maybe the gods knew that they didn't want you to do a show, so that's why they decided to make us lose. That was very sad. I did a show yesterday on Monday with Amanda, and she wasn't confident of a win. And I said we were going to win 3-2. But then I didn't know that we'd give away a shit penalty and that Big Bob would get sent off. People are saying in the chat stand that the penalty was down to the ref's discretion, that he didn't have to give it. Do you think that?
For me, if it was the other way around, I would have wanted it as a penalty.
Mm.
You know? We shouldn't be giving the referee the opportunity to be making them kind of decisions. Cedric knew what he was doing. He was like trying to back into Son. Holding was coming back. We just didn't know what was going on behind him. It's an incredibly soft penalty. That makes it all the most, all the more annoying. So it is a soft penalty.
It irritates me the way that he instantly goes penalty without even going and saying,
At least have a look. At least have a look. Because I needed to see it a few times before I could see what actually happened in there. I wasn't immediately penalty or no penalty. I needed to see. I've got a luxury of seeing replays on my telly. Right, the ref should make sure that he has the same.
I didn't realise it was. It even touched him until much like the elbow one, until maybe the third showing of it, and that's when I realised. Well, he did kind of push him. He was both up in the air at the same time. But that's Cedric for you, I suppose. Unfortunately. He's not the greatest player. He does try hard. He's two-footed, which is nice to see. Didn't really do as much favours then, but I suppose we have to try and pick the positives out of it. Martinelli looked absolutely fantastic. Run himself ragged for how long did he play for? Was it he came off? Martinelli came off after 64 minutes. That bloke ran for 64 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing laps around the outside of the pitch during half-time just to keep himself going. Lacazette come on, didn't really do much. Tavares came on for 14 minutes. Every time he tried to work anything down the left-hand side, he was getting absolutely no support down there. And then our team kind of lost the plot, and we got Smith-Rowe booked 86, Odegaard booked 88, Xhaka booked 91. That just shows complete indiscipline. Why risk all these yellow cards for no fucking reason? Xhaka looked like he was going to lose the plot after about 60 minutes. I'm surprised he didn't get sent off.
Yeah, there was something that happened with Xhaka, but they didn't show a replay of it. They just showed it on the broadcast I was watching. Ramsdale was going to kick the ball out, and the camera was on him. And then the whistle blows, and he stops, so he doesn't take the kick. And then Xhaka's standing there, and then he gets booked, but they didn't show or say why. And then they said VAR's having a look at the incident again, and then they continued with play. And I was like, what was that all about? But then after that, as I say, I had it on in the background. I was doing odd jobs around the house and just taking my...
Your cat's happy.
The cleanest cat box ever. And I bet Amazon Prime are loving it, aren't they? Good for them.
Because it's only, 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon there? Are you 8 hours behind?
Yeah, it's 2:15 in the afternoon.
Fucking hell, you had your McDonald's yet?
Not today.
You're going to go and have it?
Yeah, I might do.
You're going to put some colours on so they know you're not happy? They'll give you an extra egg for nothing. Pete Geary says VAR wouldn't have gave it if the ref didn't. Mark says if the ref didn't give a pen, VAR wouldn't have intervened. Amanda says Dan Holding needed to calm down. He did need to calm down. This is when the manager should have come up to him and said, "Oi, calm the fuck down. You and Gabriel swap sides at the centre back because rotational fouling the rotational fouling was all down to Big Bob. He was the only one doing rotational fouling on the same player. He kept doing it until he ended up getting sent off. Even when he did get booked, the referee said to him, 3. That's 3 you've done now. You've got a yellow card. And then the gap between the yellow card, he got booked on 26, sent off on 33. So in the space of 33 minutes, he did 4 yellow card moves on Son.
Yeah,
there you go. That's it. That sums it up. And if he wouldn't have got sent off, then maybe the game would have. We could have got a goal back. Penalty.
I think that when I see players doing things like that, Mustafi was another one that would usually go in for a grab. Xhaka is also prone every now and again to go in for the odd hug. I always think it's because the player hasn't got enough confidence in their actual own talents to try and make a tackle that they resort to hugging and grabbing a player or trying to pull them down. And I'd rather not have players in the team that don't have that own confidence or belief in themselves, right? Because it ends up invariably costing the team in a big way. And, it has cost us today.
We've had someone as a first-time chat. Paul J. 70 Oh, I wonder who that could be. Paul J70. Where are you, Paul J70? You're on Twitch. Can't find you.
Mr. Waffle says he needs a hug. We should send Rob Holding round there, give you a hug.
They'll probably drag you to the floor and then complain about it. Lone Star says Holding equals a prat. I think that's why we're so let down. It's not like if remember when Mavropanos first came in, he looked good and then he got sent off. And you think, well, that's just because he's a young man. Big Bob's been playing for Arsenal for about 8 seasons.
He redeemed himself, right? Him and El Neni have kind of like had like a small redemption story going on.
A renaissance of their careers.
And Holding had been doing so well when called upon, coming in to plug holes when needed, and stepping in when people have been out injured and doing so well. I was literally thinking to myself, well, we could maybe keep him around for a little bit longer. It's not, no major surgery needed there. And I was thinking that about Cedric as well. But the pair of them tonight, I mean, they've cost everybody. They've cost the fans. They've cost the manager. They've cost their teammates the bonus of £500,000, which is what they get if they qualify. If we qualify for 4th, it's just so selfish.
Yeah, witty remark 99 on Twitch. If you have got Twitch people, go to Twitch and say hello. Double dip, Twitch and YouTube. Keep us going. If there's anybody we know who's been on before who wants to come on and have their say, feel free. I mean, Amanda, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. Because we've only got done 36 minutes and I've run out of things to say without using the C word again, which I try not to. Witty remark says Holding can get away with this in the last 15 minutes of a game when there isn't enough time to collect multiple yellows. He just didn't adjust his game. That is very true, isn't it, Stan?
It is very true,
yeah. David keeps in agony. Poor boy. Yes, like Amanda says, the disgusting loving for Spurs made me want to vomit. Didn't Theo Walcott? I was watching. I never watched the preview of the game. He was sat there with Jamie Redknapp and who was the other one? Robbie Keane. And my mum heard Jamie Redknapp and she went, "Oh, is that Jamie Redknapp?" I said, "Yeah." She went, "Was he a footballer?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I thought he played golf." There you go, Jamie Redknapp, you prick. And then Theo Walcott, someone tweeted, I think it was Mark Gunner Runner. He tweeted that Theo said, "Oh, I'm neutral in this game." Fucking neutral? What? You better not have fucking said that. And if anybody can confirm whether Theo said that, I'll have fucking words. Paul is PJ70. When I was talking to you on Twitter earlier this week, Paul, I think it might have been the last couple of days.
I mean, I don't know who you had on your feed because I was watching it here on DAZN, but we have that toilet Jim Beglin a lot of the time.
Oh, ex-fucking Liverpool.
Oh God, he. I mean, did he used to play for Tottenham or something? The amount of times though, this guy, every time I listen to him, he always seems to be willing the other side to score against us. Pure toilet
scumbag. Fuck him. Sai has got some wise words. I think Spurs were winning this regardless what happened. Top 4 is a fight, is pre-planned. I suspect EPL and TV companies have something to do with this. I know there was
it's like that last Formula 1 race, isn't it, last season?
Well, the Southeast Asian betting syndicates.
It's almost like sports are being turned into entertainment. Do you know what I mean? If I want to watch entertainment, I watch the wrestling for that. I watch sport because it's about being competitive.
Mark says he'd love to see Amanda come on and make us all feel better. I think we might hear Amanda swear if she did come on. None of my lot wanted to turn up. The WhatsApp group we were talking about holidays.
Danny. I thought I was one of you a lot.
Oh, you are.
Well, see, I'm here.
But you're not in the WhatsApp group. I mean, you could be if you want to be. I never thought about that. Yeah, you should let me know. I'll slip you in the cover of dark.
Clearance seems to be moving up as we speak.
It's not a pretty place to be. Yeah, I think we end up talking about anyone going anywhere nice for their holidays at half time. Well, you're the regular for the post game shows. Nose says, "I'm really sorry about them getting 4th. With the manager, I feel they'll go places." I shudder. No, they're not going places. As soon as Conte gets a sniff of a top-rate job, he'll be off because he knows. Once Son and Kane start to grind to a halt, or Son gets snapped up by some of a bigger team somewhere, they're fucked because they had very little apart from Son and Kane. Every other player, they had nothing else, did they? Or am I trying to kid myself?
Bentancur looks looks all right as well. I thought they were quite compact when they were defending as well. I'm not a big fan of Davinson Sanchez. I think that he's a player that if you target, he makes mistakes and wobbles a little bit.
That was Paul on Twitter. I thought so. He just tweeted me.
Can't stand the Loris either. God.
A couple of times it looked like he was about to get angry with someone, didn't it? But I think his old head, World Cup winning head. People are doing their own hashtags. Richard has got one. Gary Neville is a tosser. And
get that one trending.
Gary Neville has always been a tosser.
I like the upgrade.
Goose 1066. Get Pascal Sigan out of retirement and Franny Jeffers.
Oh, what's Shamak up to these days?
Still waiting to come back. Mr. Waffles, Gary Neville is a Spurs fan. Paul says, what do you think of the fallout will be if we don't make fourth? Well, I still think we're going to make fourth, so there will be no fallout. Stan?
I always felt that 6 was like a minimum requirement, and we've got that nice and secure. Everything else for me is a bonus, but obviously I want fourth really badly. Really, really badly. But I'll be disappointed if we miss out on fourth because of, say, what happened today. You know, we miss out by 1 point or something like that. I'll be very disappointed about that. But they've got that. But they're hashtag Spursy. This is what they do. They beat Man City 3-2. Well. They beat Man City 3-2 in the middle of the season. Next game they won and lost 1-0 away at Burnley. That sums Spurs up. They've got to go and play Burnley, and Burnley are rejuvenated. They're a wonderful, beautiful team, Burnley. I've always quite liked Burnley, and I want to see Burnley do it. If you look in the form table, where are Burnley? Burnley are something to play for.
10th in the form table, and where are Spurs? They're only 7th. That's only because they had a jammy win today. But Man City, fucking hell, 24 goals in their last 6 games, and considering Norwich all season have scored 22. And they go and buy Haaland. Fuck me. Let's just give up. Let's just give up football. There's no point. Oh, it's exactly. Oh, Steph's agreeing with me. It's nice to see you on, Steph. You've got a lovely set of nostrils, Steph, if you don't mind me saying. Richard says 2 difficult games now. No, Gemini says Burnley are gone. I don't think they are. I don't think they're gone at all. David says, I'm sorry, slagging Spurs is taking us away from the reality. What is the reality, David? You let us know, because all possible. We are like the multiverse here. All realities are happening at once.
Yeah.
Nosa says, Burnley are away at the Toilet Bowl on Sunday. It's the FA Cup final on Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
I still think that should be the last game of the British season, you know?
It should.
And then they should devote the whole afternoon to it on BBC like they used to when I was a kid, you know, meet the teams, talk to everybody. I used to love all that.
It's Chelsea-Liverpool, isn't it?
I'm not watching it.
Yeah, Liverpool. It was the same as the League Cup final. So I suppose I want Chelsea to win it, possibly. Because you don't want Liverpool having too much fucking glory.
No, near the end of it.
Oh, Steph was drunk. Did you know Steph was drunk?
I didn't.
No, nor did I. I know a drunk person when I see one, a certain Mr. Feinberger. You can tell when he's pissed out of his head. I want your guest to admit he now likes our new anthem. Oh, you're not a fan of it either, are you?
It's just not for me. And as I said to Amanda, I am going to come up with an Arsenal rap. I keep threatening to. I probably won't, but I just keep saying.
Are you a bit tricky with the hippity hoppity lyrics?
That's actually the opening line, Danny. Have you seen it? Have I already told you about it? That's the opening line to it. Hippity hoppity hoppity.
You did accidentally send me a YouTube video of you doing something, and I was kind enough not to look at it, so I've got no idea what it was. You said you wrote some music or made a video for someone.
Okay, did I send that to you? Did I?
Yeah, and I deleted. You said it's not for you, so I deleted it, and I didn't watch it like a good friend would do. So okay. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't want to ruin it, and I could have plagiarized it and claimed it as my own. Yes. So Mark says, I just thought Steph had one too many Mitsubishis.
The Mitsubishis are doing the rounds tonight.
Oh, here we go. Amanda's on the North London forever. Dear, oh dear. Phil says he'd love to see Danny do a rap. I have Zero skills in anything. I have no artistic, no singing, no poetry. I'd ban anyway. I have no visible skills at anything apart from talking about football. And then that's debatable. And that's only because it's easy. You just make it all up and there's no one that's going to get too angry with you because it's all opinion mostly. Spurs are see you next Tuesday. Richard's had more of those hashtags than anyone else. Phil says he loves North London forever. Was amazing to hear it in the ground. Yeah,
seems like the majority seem to really love it, and happy days.
Good. Right. If anyone's got any questions for us, put it in the chat because I've run out of things to say. I've said fuck Spurs. I said they're all a bunch of scumbags. I've repeated that over and over. I've said this all mostly goes down to if you had to name your top 3 reasons why we were shit, why we lost this game, what are you going to put down as your top 3? Big Bob first?
Yeah, Big Bob first. Cedric probably second.
I agree with that in second. And Mikel in third for not knowing what to do.
Mikel for not seemingly trying to plug the holes quick enough.
Super's being nice. Ross says, I have never heard the song.
You will.
Yeah, fuck you will hear it.
You will.
We have got a now where did I put it? If I go here, I might be able to add a video clip. See if it lets me do this. Where would I have put it? I think I would have put it in. Did I put it in
playing
here?
the song?
No.
Oh.
Did I put it here? No. God, talk amongst yourselves while I go and look for this. Oh, here we go. Here's the video. Will it let me upload it? You remember when the ABW intro theme was right here, right now?
Oh, yeah.
And it had me and Jace and John and Carl and Steve and all that lot having little snippets all over it.
Yeah.
Well, that was done by a bloke in Australia called... how can I forget his fucking name? There's 2 blokes in Australia that we talked to. It was Matt Sanasi. People write this down. Go and it's Mattsanasi. The man is a musical genius. And now I'm going to play you the video. It's 41 seconds long. This is his version of the North London Forever. And it's a little bit sweary. We ready? Here we go.
It's the Fox Spurs song and it goes.
The video audio was muted. How do I unmute? Did you hear any of that?
Yeah, the beginning bit.
It's the Fox Spurs song and it goes like this. Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs. It's a stupid song for a stupid club. Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs. They got no trophies here, they got no trophies there. In fact, they've got no trophies anywhere. It's the Fox Spurs song and it goes like this. Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs, Fox Spurs.
We're done. Bye-bye.
There you go, people. That was by Matt Sanasi. He's an Australian gooner, and that is a fantastic bit of stuff.
I like that. Easy to learn as well.
We're not playing. Steph says put the song on. We're not playing that fucking song.
Very easy to learn that one.
Here we go. Question for you both from Amanda. Do you think we'll get top 4?
It's still within our hands. We're still in that driving seat. So yeah.
I
believe.
Yes. I think all we need is they are now 1 point behind us. All we need is 2 wins, and then we'll beat them. And there's nothing they can do. We are still in the driving seat. Super says that is the perfect song. Amanda likes it. Matt Sanasi. I've put it in the thing. What happened to the other Australians? Aussie Dom. Well, he went to live in Canada for a few years, and then he took his business and went back to Australia, set up his fitness and rehabilitation company, and then COVID went, no, you aren't, and then everything had to shut down. So he's busy in Australia doing that. We still talk to him. Yeah, hopefully one day he'll come back on, which would be nice. I mean, Shredder was away for 2 years, and then he come back on, so you never know. But they have a cheese room, says Phil Macker. That is very true. Sai says, I think they will draw a game and Liverpool win. So that title battle goes on the last day. TV companies plan everything. Oh, he's already said that.
Run by the Illuminati, mate. TV companies. That's what I've heard.
That's it. All funny handshakes and dodgy trouser legs. Steph said he was singing along. Mark says brilliant. Richard, thumbs up. Jonathan Mathewson says that cheered me up. It's available on Nowhere. Actually, I don't think
I'd love to have that played at the matches over the tannoys with the words on the screen with a bouncing ball that goes along to keep you up with it. I'd love that.
Well, he made the video himself, didn't he? Here we go. Witty remark. What positions need to be filled in the summer? In my honest opinion, there is a lot needing to be done.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that while I move my foot? Because I'm in pain.
For myself, if I was going to put together a little shopping list, it would be 2 strikers. I quite like the idea of Gabriel Jesus being one of them because he's quite flexible in where he can play along the front, and another proper out-and-out striker. I'd also like to bring in 2 midfielders, a wide player, preferably a wide player that could play on either flank. If I know that I'm asking for a lot,
might as well.
By the looks of it, I think we also need, even if William Saliba does come back, I think we could do with another central defender as well. Because you look at the situation that we're left in today with an injury and a red card, and we're having to look at who we're going to shuffle around now in our backline. So maybe another defender and a cover at fullback. I mean, we've been looking at this young lad from Bologna, right? Scottish lad, Aaron Hickey, who's good with both feet. That sounds like someone that could be ideal if he's good with both feet. But then again, we was told that Cedric could work both flanks, and he's rubbish at both of them. So
I agree. I'd like to see Jesus, and I'd like to see Tammy Abraham. Bring them in, lovely jubbly, and a holding midfielder. Maybe the bloke at Leeds, Calvin Phillips. Looks like Leeds are going to possibly go down. It looks like Newcastle are after Calvert-Lewin Smith. Oh, fucking hell, whatever his name is. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I've highlighted here.
Sounds like a chain of jewellery shops, that does, doesn't it?
It certainly does. They supply all of Argos's finest jewellery. In the chat there, I've put in Matt Sanassi's link to his Twitter, and it is his pinned tweet at the moment. And so at the moment, it's had 127 likes. Make that 128, and it's had 34 retweets. Make that 35. Go make. He lives in Sydney, New South Wales. Lovely. Let's see what else everyone was saying about the. We've done that one. Yes, we will. All we need is 2 wins, says Richard. Phil Macker, are you disappointed that Xhaka didn't try to break Kane's legs after the game was lost? I do like to see a little bit of unnecessary violence. Always a nice way to end a North London derby.
Son's got a very punchable face.
Oh, he certainly has.
There's a nice area to aim for.
Russ wants to know where Gimli is. He left. Still in Wales. Richard says he loves us. Richard's probably been on the Indian Pale Ale. He's like you. He's a fan of the drinks. Where can I get that song? I've put the link in the chat feed. Steph. Avon says it's been a horrible evening. My best to everyone. Well, thank you very much. Keysby Knight, Odegaard interview sounds like Arteta. There's a reason he loves him. A lot of it's over now. We move on Monday night. Yep.
I saw somebody tweet out Odegaard hasn't got a big game mentality. Words to that effect, that kind of sentiment.
I think he did all right tonight.
And I kind of was like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You can't do it all. Can't do everything, right?
Mark says, bring back Saliba, buy Bissouma, Neves, Jesus, and Abraham. Not a bad shopping list.
No, not
That's
at all.
doable for 200 million, probably. Possibly. Yeah, maybe. That's just me highlighting Matt's thing. Avon says, in terms of shopping list, I don't want Mo to get a new contract because I want better midfield options. He didn't really do anything wrong tonight, but from the position he played, he couldn't really do much right, could he? Nothing really came through El Neni. It wasn't like they went past him every single time. It wasn't like he got a red card or gave away a penalty. It was just El Neni. Just the last few games, he's been El Neni plus. It's like he pays an extra $3.99 a month to get the plus version of El Neni.
And he was still making forward passes again to dispel that myth.
And I actually wrote in one point, where is it? 61st minute, El Neni is the one chasing the ball up and around up front. Wow. He was the furthest forward player other than Eddie. So he tried hard. Oh, I think Sire's gone and got us a quote here. Charles Watts says, Arteta are clearly fuming, refusing to talk about the referee or decisions. He quotes, I want to be on the touchline on Monday night.
I think Conte got booked in that game as well.
Conte got booked in my notes. He got booked in 17th minute. And then they get a penalty a couple of minutes later, and that calmed him right down. Shane11 says, I asked for a big boy today, and we didn't even show up to the event. Very true, we didn't. Steph says he'd take Phillips. He is really good. He's had a few injury problems this season, which has caused Leeds a load of problems, but Leeds have had the second most highest number of goals conceded. They're shocking, considering they've got a decent goalkeeper. Richard Morris says, thumbs up. Be nice if you are new and you like it, give us a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. We got 10 new subscribers earlier in the week, Stan, and the next day they went away. So there you go. They liked it, and then they all fucked off. And Paul says, I just remembered your surname, Paul. Begins with a B. That's the one you used to know. I don't know how that come to me. Are we trying to build a team of players named Gabriel? I think that could be it. Because then all Arteta do is, Gabriel, score! And then one of them's bound to try and
he's already on the sidelines and already going, Gabby. If he does that now, if Jesus comes in, we'll have 3 players stopping and just looking towards the bench.
Avon says, did they show Son's elbow and holding? I don't think they did. What do you think of Tottenham? I think they're shit, and they're the C word. Phil says, I had 2 pints of lovely Indian pale ale in a pub tonight. Oh, lovely. Excellent. Richard says, Son has a face that you would never get tired of punching.
Yep, I agree with that.
Fuck me, Chris is here. Jesus. Everyone, on your knees, hands together. Acknowledge Chris is here. In fact, I'm going to bring up his picture. We were in mourning because we've got that thing there. There he is. Look at him. Beautiful bastard with luscious long hair. He says he loves me. Don't love me enough to come on the show, though, do you? No doubt Chris will be doing an emergency podcast tomorrow. Another 10,000 viewer that will be, because people will love a disaster. Avon says he needs better options in midfield. We certainly do. And we've got more people watching now than what we had when we started the show. Why does that always happen? Tom wasn't doing the show. Harry wasn't doing it. Was Harry doing the show? He might have been. I don't know. I was busy watching this. Go and watch Harry. Chronicles of a Gooner, and the Gooner pod. Go and watch those. You'll get some really decent insight from the pair of those. Si's got us another quote. Si, Rudy's substitute. Charles Watt says, Arteta on Gabriel. It's a muscular problem. He felt something. Hopefully it's not much because with Bob and Ben, the flower pot men, with no training sessions, we are really short in that position. Russ Morgan wants Jesus, Osimhen, Rafinha, Neves, and lad from Bologna. That's the Hickey. I don't know. Hickey. There we go. It's a good thing I didn't go to the bar tonight. They'd have had my liver, says Keysby. Have you started drinking yet? Is it too early?
I'll probably start just after I have something to eat after this.
Do you have a tipple every day?
I like to have at least maybe one in the evening while I'm sat down, but I don't like to get drunk. I don't like to get wrecked. No.
Oh, that's good.
I enjoy drinking.
I
enjoy drinking IPA, but I don't like to get drunk and have hangovers and feel shit in the morning.
You see where my ear is on the screen? See, there's a unit behind me, right level with my ear on that shelf. Remember Colin, the spider catcher, lived next door?
No, I've never had the pleasure of calling the spider catcher from next door.
He was my neighbour for 25 years.
I remember
Sexy
like
Frank. No, Sexy Frank, no. That was Colin. Colin lived in the bungalow next door to mine, and he died of cancer because he wouldn't stop smoking. And so his cremation was on Friday last week, and today his son brought me around some of Colin's ashes. So they're in a tiny little urn about that big. Colin sat up there now. He's an Arsenal fan. You all right, Cole? Yeah, he's fine. So I said to Luke when he brought him around, I said, where do you want to put him so that you can have a good view of what's going on? He said, we'll put him up there and he can haunt you. Because Colin was a pagan, he was a Viking, and we had a humanist ceremony. And I miss him. It was very good. So Stan, I don't want your missus bringing me around your ashes anytime soon, so you need to quit. Are you going to quit?
No, my missus isn't giving my ashes to anyone.
No?
No, she's probably going to bury them somewhere really deep, and then, I don't know.
Then do a dance around
Just
them.
to make sure.
Oh, Chris says he's there. We know
Flush
you're
them down
there.
the toilet. I don't know.
Oh, Steph knows all the words. I know words. I know all the words.
What, to the Fuck Tottenham song?
Yes. If anybody wants the Fuck Tottenham song again, do let us know. We'll play it again. Avon says because people have calmed down enough to start talking about it. I'm not sure what we were talking about. I forgot. Si says, no more quotes from me. I'm not opening Twitter for the next 2 to 3 days. Keysby Knight says, Facebook ads tell me 1 drink a day shrinks your brain. I've got 4 bottles of Baileys.
But Facebook also tells me that there are horny MILFs in my area that want to hook up, and I
John gets them.
Never seen any.
I get messages saying there's horny gilfs and pictures of John come up on my phone. I don't use Facebook. It's shit. As anybody who follows me on Facebook will know, I don't do anything apart from I'm in Godmanchester living. Loki says, "Oh, Loki, hello. How you been? Has he been in the chat all night?
He's been there. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Maybe I know. You asked a question. He gave us a list of what players he wanted, Jesus and all that lot, I think. I don't know why. I just went, oh, are you there? Like I didn't already know. Avon says, Conte on Arteta. In 6 months, I have listened to him complain a lot. Fucking fuck off. Play NFL. Danny is the Gilf hunter. No, I'll wait for them to come to me. Yes. Well, we've highlighted all the comments in there. If people would like us to end the show on the Fuck Spurs song, we've been going an hour. Stan, I can hear Stan's tummy is rumbling because he needs to go and get himself a McDonald's and go out and kick a few moose in the testicles on the way down to McDonald's. Do you have wandering mooses there?
No, but we do have a lot of raccoons.
Fucking furry cunts. Go and give one of them a kick up the sphincter.
Ballsy little bastards, I know, I can tell you.
What are?
The raccoons, very ballsy, mate. They walk around in little firms. You got
Do they?
Yeah, you got to get out of their way. They're little ballsy things they are.
Shit, there. Didn't expect you to hear that. Don't have anything around here. We get the odd
and
fox.
Coyotes. Got coyotes as well. There's like Stanley Park. People be getting bitten by coyotes.
Dear, oh dear. Right, I'm going to go here and then I'm going to go and edit this because I didn't want it on a banner, on a scrolling one. Matt's details, save. Right, there is Matt's, the bloke who made it. We're going to end the show now. Stan, any final words of wisdom to the congregation of Crying Gooners? Anything positive? Not
really. Thank you for having me on. I'm gutted that we wasn't having a little Champions League celebration party. And if you're over in North America way, you will catch me again this evening on the Arsenal Fan Circle, where I will basically just be saying everything you've already heard to Danny again.
Excellent. Oh, we've got some more comments coming in. Come on, Burnley, says Phil. Anne says, thanks, guys. Good effort, bearing in mind how the bad game turned out. Richard says, come on, Burnley. Avon has got a quote. Conte, if you remember him, Conte's still going. If you remember, he complained about the fixtures and Arsenal postponed a game in an incredible way for COVID. Then they had 1 player with COVID. Don't forget this. Fucking arsehole. Peter Tomlin, painful guys. Mr. Waffles, raccoons are terrifying. They have opposable thumbs.
They do.
Shit the bed.
They're like little furry people.
Hey?
I said they're like little furry people with their thumbs.
Richard says, come on, Burnley. Loki says, cheers up the Gunners, for fuck's sake. And Chris says, wish Stan all the best from me. If you ever turned up for a show, Chris, you could wish him the best yourself. Right, we're going to go and end the show with the video. Thank you very much, everybody. We will be back with a preview show on Monday. So the show, I think it kicks off at 7:45. So probably about 6 o'clock-ish preview show. I don't know who's going to be on. I don't know who's going to be on the post-game show. We're going to go out. We're going to smash Newcastle. Spurs are going to draw with Burnley at the weekend. And then we are going to be 3 points clear with 3 points clear of a game left. So Spurs would have to win their last game. That's what I think is going to happen anyway. I'm waffling now. Thank you very much, Dan.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on again.
And we will see you later, people. Now I'm going to try and time this so the show ends just as the video ends. So it ends. It's 41 seconds long. So if I end the show at 33 seconds, it might work. Wish me luck, everybody. Thumbs up, subscribe.
Opposable
Send
thumbs
this.
up.
Send the link to this to 10 people and then get them say, look at this. You won't believe what happened. Everybody do that because we've been on 7,100 YouTube subscribers for 4 years. 4 fucking years, people. Sort your lives out. Goodbye.
It's the Fuck Spurs song and it goes like this. Fuck Spurs, fuck Spurs, fuck Spurs. It's a stupid song for a stupid club. Fuck Spurs, fuck Spurs, fuck Spurs. They got no trophies here, they got no trophies there. In fact, they've got no trophies anywhere. It's the Fuck Spurs song and it goes like this. Fuck Spurs, fuck Spurs, fuck Spurs, fuck Spurs.